Okay, what's going on, guys? And welcome to a brand new episode of Energized. Today we have the very special guest back on the show. We have our Southside correspondent, Mr. Paul Neal, and our our Dublin Centre correspondent, Ross Campbell. Lads, what's the story, boys? We're back.
What's going on?
How's the form, Basmo?
Good lads, good lads. Another week of football action.
Yeah, are you on the tea or the coffee?
I'm on the Guinness, just making it look like I'm not an alcoholic.
Oh,
But,
nice.
The only way to start the day. But Paul,
The home of the black stuff.
It is the home of the black stuff, actually. Yeah, the pubs. I think the pubs properly open on the 20th of July.
Yeah, I think so. I think
Yeah.
the drinking only pubs, the real pubs.
Yeah, the only meal you can get is a packet of crisps or peanuts. But Paul, first of all, people, Paul's from Irish Football Fan TV. If you don't know, now you know. Paul, this week it's been a very interesting week for some Irish footballers as well. I think the best thing to do is start off talking about that.
Yeah, well, obviously John Egan got his first Premier League goal. It was a long time coming. If you look at a lot of the chances that he's had, like he's came very, very close to scoring. I did feel yesterday. I was watching him when he got close a couple times. He eventually got his goal, but I have a little stat here from Opta Joe. So John Egan has now scored in each of the top four tiers in English football with today's strike, which was yesterday, coming 2,308 days after the first of these goals in March 2014 for South End in League Two. So obviously that's great for him. You know, I just said off air to you guys there, like this is a player who had so many struggles with injuries coming up. He went to Sunderland and he had to go out on loan constantly. Never really got a break. His dad passed away around the time when he broke his leg. Could have easily jacked it in, and to see him go from where he was then to where he is now, I think it's brilliant to see. He's a regular now for Ireland. I think he has to be in the Ireland squad as a starter. I think he'd be one of the first names on Stephen Kenny's team sheet. And then you have in the Premier League, I think he's right up there with any of the centre halves in the top 10 at the moment, just going on current form. And then you had Enda Stevens, who obviously had a good few games as well. He got a nice assist there the other night as they beat Spurs. So Sheffield United have been flying. Didzy, I know he's not been on the score sheet, but some of the things that he does, I just think he's extremely underrated. Like as a footballer, maybe not as a goal scorer, but as a footballer, and some of the stuff he does, like he was unlucky not to get an assist for McBurney, and then
The Irish Firmino, one might even say.
yeah. Well, so some of the stuff he was doing was very Firmino-esque, and I remember he got that little back heel. That was like Firmino would do. You know, if McBurney had the finishing qualities of a Mane or Salah, then who knows, that might have been a goal. But it's definitely, they've bounced back massively, because last week I remember sitting here and thinking that they'd kind of blown it. But they've put themselves right back amongst. I know maybe a draw yesterday was a bit disappointing, but I mean, they've shown signs that they're back, and they don't look as leggy as they did maybe when I was thinking about them about a week ago.
And just while we're on Irish footballers there, let's have a quick look at the Burnley contingent. Is it the last time we've seen Robbie Brady and Jeff Hendrick kick a ball for Burnley? I know the Jeff Hendrick one's fairly dead certain now, but any update on Robbie Brady?
I haven't heard anything at all. I've heard that the only reason they kind of extended the contract he had by 12 months because they had a clause in it was to maybe try and cash in on him, so something like the Jeff Hendrick situation didn't happen. Jeff Hendrick came out there during the week and released a kind of classy statement towards the Burnley fans, which I thought was very nice of him. But you know, Kevin Long, weirdly enough, started the game yesterday, who has just been a regular on the bench. Like, I remember him talking to someone, asked him something, saying he's the longest serving player at Burnley. And they were like, "Oh yeah, would you have a testimonial?" And he says, "Yeah, I'll probably be on the bench for that too." That's like he's always on the bench. So I don't know what's the point in him staying at Burnley if he's just going to be on the bench and covering every now and again. When the only reason he's in there now is because games are coming thick and fast, and they need him as cover. He did well, you know. They only conceded a goal, and I don't think he was at fault for it. But you would like
their centre halves are good though, Tarkovsky and Ben Mee.
Yeah, but Tarkovsky was brought in, like, so Long was already there. He should be, you know, trying to push ahead of him in the pecking order, or at least go somewhere he's going to be first choice, because his Ireland career could easily fall down the pecking order now with some of the younger lads coming up. So I don't know what the story is with Robbie Brady. Again, another player I'd like to see go somewhere. I think, do you know where I'd like to maybe see him go, maybe resurrect his career a little bit, but somewhere like Celtic and playing in European competition. every week, or well, not every week, but when they're in the European competition, and I think that could really get his career back up and running. It's
Yeah.
a club where he could be the main man.
Where exactly do you think Robbie Brady's best position is? Because he's came into United as a winger, and then he started playing left back. It could be the biggest problem probably is that he doesn't have a set position. Maybe he'd be ideal in the back five. But where do you think, Paul Ross? You think about that.
Well, Ross, if you want to go ahead, I already know what I'm going to say.
Oh, right. I actually prefer him at left back. To be honest, I actually think he's quite good in the tackle. He can deliver a decent cross as well. I just think he almost doesn't have the pace to play left wing. So I prefer him at left back if he did an overlapping job. I think he could almost emulate a game similar to Robertson for Liverpool. Paul?
So, like Carragher, so he's a failed winger. Nobody wants to be a Gary Neville. Yeah, I know. I was going to say that I think left back, because if you ever watched them for Ireland, especially after the Euros, Martin O'Neill at times would, move him from number 10 to say left back, and he'd be controlling the game from left back. Like, his left foot is a wand, and he can see and do things that other players can't. I think when he's on form and he's fit, which I don't think he's been fully fit, he can be Ireland's best player. And I think at left back, but the only thing is you have Enda Stevens there who's in the form of his life right now. So if you're I think Enda's better than him as a natural left back in that position. But he is more of a wing back, isn't he? But if you're talking as a out and out left back, I think Robbie Brady could do a job there. But I think if he's going somewhere like Celtic, a left mid kind of job would be good for him, on the set pieces and something like that. No, he hasn't even been linked with Celtic. That's just me putting a link for him and Celtic. I just think
he could be the new Ian Hart. Maybe he can go to Leeds as they get promoted.
There you go. I just would like to see him go somewhere he's going to play first team football. If it's a championship club, so be it. Just for a year, just to get his career back up and running. He's only like 28, so he still has about. If he really pushed himself, he had about 4, maybe 5 good years in the Premier League. If he pushed himself, I think.
Yeah, I think he missed out on maybe trying to get somewhat of a big move after the Euros that time. I think that was his chance to really push on, and then obviously you have 1 or 2 injuries and stuff like that. But I thought after the Euros, I was like, surely someone's going to buy him after that heroic goal. You know what I mean? But it didn't really come from.
He stayed at Norwich then, and then I think in January, Burnley then bought him.
Yeah, but I was more so saying if you could move into that sort of Leicester City, Spurs bracket of teams.
Well, it was not a Hull.
Yeah, he went from Norwich to Burnley. He was at Hull before that, I think.
I don't remember the Norwich.
Yeah, he was definitely at Norwich though, with Wezzo. But what was I going to say? I completely lost my train of thought there.
Yeah, after I was putting Robbie Brady in with superstars.
Yeah, it was the Leicester City link. But if there's anybody that he should look to emulate, it's Mark Albrighton. Look what he's done. I think there's someone that he should look at and go, all right, well, he's made the most of his career. That's what Robbie Brady should try to do, I think.
Yeah, I suppose Mark Albrighton's almost been a journeyman, but it's worked out very well for him.
He's a league winner, isn't he? So, and he played Champions League, so.
Yeah, not bad. Bad.
True, yeah. No, Robbie Brady did play for Norwich. Sorry about that. When Robbie Brady seems like at his best, it's when he's just coming over the halfway line and the other team are trying to push back, and he gets to cross the ball in and he gets loads of space. That's definitely, I think that's when he definitely is at his best. I'm not overly confident about his defensive abilities because he's way more attack minded. But the Robertson shout's not a bad one. But I think in a back 5 he'd be good, but he definitely needs to get more games in. And but the thing is, he's like an Irish legend already now for the goal he scored against Italy. So he must be like, oh, I can't go down to the championship. I'm better than that. I was linked with Leicester, and the next year, the year they won the league. But he's definitely someone now. After spending so much time out, also being best mates with Jeff Hendrick, I think Jeff leaving Burnley would be right. I get to start fresh as well. Because sometimes you get too comfortable in your environment. But I think he should try and get games, and then he can move on next year. Because if he's going to play left back, he'll last a lot longer because he does have pace as well. But it'd be interesting to see because now the likes of Stevens and coming in, that's his spot now. So McLean isn't really 100% guaranteed to start either. So
Sure, if he's not careful, he might be relegated from the Championship.
And Paul, just one last thing I want to ask you is at Southampton. Obviously, Danny Ings hasn't taken off his shooting boots for the whole lockdown.
He wears them to sleep.
He wears them to bed. Is this bad news for Michael Obafemi and Shane Long, or is this something that they can sort of bounce off and also make their way into that team alongside them?
Well, I think it's. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. I mean, if Southampton are winning games, it's going to be good for their confidence either way. But yeah, I know what you mean from a personal point of view, maybe. But if they play in a two up top, so there's room for one of them to get in always alongside Ings. Like Jay Adams got in last night, took his opportunity, took a great goal. To be fair to him,
Yeah.
Obafemi at times has done that. Like you think of the goal against Chelsea that he scored, and then I think there was one against West Ham as well. Two brilliant goals that he took. Problem is he just doesn't do it enough. And Shane Long, yeah, he's great as a workhorse up there alongside Danny Ings, and I think he's happy to do that job. And he gets recognition for it. Not many players who do the dog work do get the recognition for it. I mean, Giroud did it for France at the World Cup when they won it and just got abused because he didn't score goals. But if you ask any of the French players, they would say that he helped so much. So it's kind of those. He is getting recognition for the workload he's doing, which is great to see, and obviously got rewarded with a new contract. And then Obafemi, he just needs to start scoring more. Same with Aaron Connolly, but on the Southampton buzz, Obafemi just needs to start scoring more. And there was two other lads on the bench last night, Smallbone and Will Ferry, who are quite highly rated. So if they start getting runs, it'd be good. Again, this is only good for the Irish team. More Irish players playing the Premier League. It's only going to be good for the national team, I think.
Yeah, it looks like Ings is definitely someone's going to try and buy Ings. So,
well, yeah, Liverpool
are going to buy him back for like 40 million because that's just what Liverpool do. That's Southampton buzz.
He'd be good up front with Jamie Vardy or something like that.
He could be a good replacement for Jamie Vardy.
I think I said that on last week's show.
You did.
Yeah, because I think the Vardy, although I was almost writing Vardy off, I was like, Vardy went hard in the gargle on the lockdown and he's not with it. But then he breaks the 100 goals and he's got his shooting boots back on. That fella has had such a historic career. Do you remember they were going to bring a movie out about him? Is that actually going to happen or is it not going to happen?
I heard that as well.
That could have just been in the papers.
I think they were looking at people to play him. I think your man Cook from what's that show?
Skins
was going to play Jamie Vardy.
That's actually a really good show. Oh my god, that was outrageous.
Yeah,
good show. Yeah, but Cook from Skins is actually a really good show.
Well, someone has to have that Jamie Vardy party,
Yeah. Who's going to play the wife? Who's going to play the wife? And then
stitching up Colin Rooney.
Rebecca Vardy.
Joe, I think she's after trying to bring Colin Rooney to court now over this as well. So, that's because
she was preggers now, but yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, but I don't understand how after you were ratting your mate out, being pregnant is an excuse for that. It's I killed 4 people, but I was pregnant at the time, so it doesn't count. No.
She just got a lot of abuse while she was preggers. If I was Jamie Vardy, I'd be going mad. But
yeah.
How did they not have a TV show like the Housewives of?
He just seems like a normal lad. Just wants to get on, play football, and go for a few cans after, or whatever it is he does.
Well, he was a factory worker up until the age he was 24. You know what I mean?
What?
He was still working in a factory up until the time he was 24.
Yeah, wasn't he on tag as well? But when you have wives at home, there's only so many times you can get hair and nails and makeup done, and between 9 and 1 o'clock, and then you're just right. You take your glam photos, and then you're like, you know what? Wayne Rooney's missus needs to get done out here,
straight to the sun.
No, in fairness, I actually think she was doing a lot of charity work as well. In fairness to Rebecca Vardy, so
yeah, I think
she's on that.
I think she's just a sniper online, but what's that? Idle hands make the devil's work or something, is that it?
Sure, why not?
Yeah, why not? Why not? Is there any other Irish players you need to look over? Because I think Robbie Brady is definitely one that I think a lot of people are interested in, because after scoring that goal, people thought he was going to go up and up and up, and now it's you don't even know.
In fairness, I think fair play to Seamus Coleman in relation to Black Lives Matter. Troy Deeney came out and said Seamus Coleman was one of the captains in the Premier League that really pushed that forward. So fair play to Shamey.
He also Bernard came out recently and spoke about mental health and how he had a anxiety attack last year and he suffered really bad. And he's seen a psychologist at the moment. He only came out in the lockdown and said it there. Like I only found out a couple of days ago. He said the person that you went to speak to about was Seamus Coleman. So I think that goes to show the character that Seamus Coleman is, that people can go and speak to him about whatever. And I just think that Seamus Coleman is like the best person in the world. He's just never does anything wrong, and he just does everything right. And he's such a good role model for kids.
Him versus Rashford for person of the year.
Well, yeah. But if you're talking about Irish people, he's a brilliant role model. I mean, he plays Ga. He'll probably go back and play Ga after he finishes his career. But he's just such a good role model for footballers and just kids in general, I think.
Yeah. Does he have any kids, or is he married?
Yeah, he has 2 daughters.
Does he? Yeah. You never hear any of this stuff.
He's very private, but he has 2 daughters. Yeah.
Imagine a tough man to get a hold of, is he?
Yeah. Well, he's been talking about coming on with me, but never does. So he's been busy because he's been the captain. Like he was one of the people, because the captains sorted out all that stuff regarding the wages and stuff like that. He's just been so busy because, as I said, he was meant to come on and do one of the podcasts with me, but he never did because he's just never got a minute.
Seems a bit like Dennis Irwin, just gets on with his work and keeps his family life to it. Like that's a good routine to have, you know.
Yeah, I can't speak highly enough of him.
Yeah, you could be crashing cars out in Birmingham. But
right, Basmo, are we starting at the top of the league or the bottom of the league?
Well, like there's another huge move that might be going down. Is someone was speaking of transfers, is Lionel Messi might be leaving Barcelona. There seems to be a lot of turmoil there, lads, and the change room is all over the Cape, supposedly. But I'm just interested to hear where you think Messi could end up, because he is 33 now, but he could leave at the end of next season. He's actually able to leave at the end of this season because he has that written into his contract. He can leave at the end of every season. But if you're going to take a guess, what do you think Messi does, lads? Because that Barcelona team seems all over the shop.
Juve.
Do you think him and Ronaldo are going to actually line up together?
Someone I seen it the other day that they are the team at the top of the pile that are linked with him. I think that I would just love. I think every football romantic would love to see them in the same team, even if they were 40 and playing in the same team together. I think people would just love to see it. Just for your season.
In fairness, I do think Juve are probably the shrewdest business movers in all of football. Like the amount of players they got on free, they sort of like got the Ronaldo deal wrapped up before like people even knew Ronaldo was transferring. They seem to be really, really with it. Yeah, exactly. Like I think they got Khedira for free.
Rabiot as well.
Rabiot, like they got Buffon back. Like I don't think they paid a lot of money for Chesney.
Buffon beat Maldini's appearance record. The
2 absolute legends of Italian football.
Yeah,
like Chiellini, like I don't think he cost them much. You know what I mean? Like they've done really, really well. Juventus, they've obviously splashed a bit of cash along the way, but you know what I mean, get Messi in, like the jerseys he'd sell will be worth, you know, every single penny. You know what I mean? People would have to buy 2 jerseys to have Messi jersey and Ronaldo jersey.
I was going to say that.
The only other option I could see him going to, but it's more likely now, is if, you know, a Man City Pep. But if Man City aren't in the Champions League, Messi won't want to do that.
Yeah.
The only thing is about Messi is that everybody knows that he controls Barcelona. He picks their managers and everything like that. It's like ridiculous. He has to go to a club where he's going to be allowed to do that. And if he does go to Juve, it might be an ego clash between himself and Ronaldo. Apparently they're mates, but that's because they see each other every now and again. I think it could be a big ego clash there. He has to. I just think he has to go somewhere where it's going to be all about Messi. But where is he going to go? So it's the end of next season, yeah? He's going to be 35?
Yeah.
Who's going to let it be all about Messi then? Like, if he's still freakishly good, yeah, okay. But the likelihood, if you're going off being a realist, he's probably not going to be as brilliant. And he won't be able to do the things that he's been doing for the last how many years, since he's been 17 or whatever. So he's been doing it consistently year in, year out. I think that takes its toll on the body. And I think, as I said, what club is going to, you know, you might get somewhere like Galatasaray where it'll be all about him. But if you're talking about any of the top European leagues, I don't think so.
Yeah, do you know what? He was. There was. I listened to all these other football shows, and they're saying that he was on the phone to Xavi to be like, "Please come be the manager," and Xavi's like, "No, you're not yet. Not while that current board's there." So like, once I think that they're done at the end of next season, I think as well. So
But their team is aging very badly. Like, you know, Rakitic, Alba, Neymar, or sorry, Suarez, Messi, PK. Like, they're all kicking on a bit. They're all like in their 30s, like early to mid 30s.
Yeah, he hasn't got long left. He wants to win another Champions League, obviously. But if they got Xavi in, I think he'd stay. I think it'd make everyone a lot happier. Like Suarez is looking for a new contract as well. But he's 33. He can't, he's not going to be able to do all that running around for ages as well either.
And then I think Griezmann said like he'd actually be open to a move to Manchester United this summer, and then all the Man United fans tweeted him saying, "Yeah, we could do with backup for Greenwood."
Well,
so
the thing about Griezmann is I was listening to a lot of Football Daily podcasts the other day, and there's been a lot of turmoil between the manager and the players, and Griezmann not getting along with the players. And do you know that lad off ESPN? Was Jerome Laurent?
Yeah, I do know him. For baldy fella.
Yeah,
no?
the French lad.
Yeah.
He was on talking about Griezmann. Like, you know, he went to Barcelona knowing that they don't play the system that he's used to, where his best position is the second striker. He went to Barcelona where more often than not he's used out on the wing. He scored a great goal last night, nice little dink that Messi set up for him. But it's a bit of a strange move for him to go there. And like, it's all, I understand everybody wants to play with Messi and all that type of stuff, but he's there complaining that he's not getting his game and stuff like that. Well, he should have known that he's going somewhere where he's probably going to be second choice in the position that he probably wants to play, which maybe would have been centre forward where Suarez plays. And I don't think that he's been getting in ahead of him, and he's been getting frustrated. If I was United, I wouldn't want him. I don't think like when someone snubs you, you're obviously that much more being like, all right, well, you know, time passes you by with people like Griezmann. I think he made a massive blunder going there. He probably should have stayed at Atletico, if I'm being honest.
I think like a move to PSG is written all over his career, you know that?
Yeah, or a swap deal with Neymar maybe.
Yeah, something like that. Like a move.
That's a very good
show.
That's a very good show with the Neymar, I think.
Yeah, especially considering he's French. It could be like Griezmann and Mbappe. You know what I mean? They're already good mates as well.
Yeah, and they played with each other at the national team.
Yeah, and then that if that does happen, there's probably a higher chance Messi would stay at Barcelona if Neymar came back.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. All right, so that's wrapped it up. It's funny how you connect one dot and then it just makes everything seem real. Lads, here another thing before we get into the top four race, because that is obviously heating up. There was a massive debate going on the internet over Manchester United front three versus Liverpool front three. Paul, as an Everton fan, I want to get your opinion on this because Ross, do you have the stats there?
Give me 2 seconds. I'll pull them up. There was a sneaky debate in one of our WhatsApp groups last night. I'll pull them up for you now.
Yeah. So obviously Manchester United's front three is obviously Anthony Martial, Greenwood, and Rashford, and Liverpool's is obviously Mane, Salah, and Firmino. For people who aren't.
All right, Basma, I'm ready for you. You're ready, Paul?
Yeah, don't forget. So, Mane scored yesterday as well.
Yeah. So Greenwood has 15 goals and 45 appearances this season. Martial has 39 appearances and 20 goals. Rashford has 36 appearances, 20 goals. Salah has 42 appearances, 21 goals. Firmino has 46 appearances, 11 goals. And Mane has 41 appearances and now 20 goals. So it's 129 appearances for the Liverpool front three with 51 goals, and 121 appearances for Manchester United with 55 goals of their front three. Now, I know sort of the argument would then be that, you know, Liverpool were playing higher competition, playing Champions League, and then Man United were playing Europa League. So I took just the Premier League stats. So that's an even playing field. And then I took a goal per minute. So Anthony Martial and Marcus Rashford both score a goal every 147 minutes. Salah scores a goal every 148 minutes. Mane scores a goal every 152 minutes. Firmino scores a goal every 331 minutes. And then, Paul, I want you to guess how many minutes per goal Mason Greenwood is.
He nearly has a goal every game. 120.
115 minutes. The only person with a better goal per minute ratio in the Premier League this season is Sergio Aguero.
I was close.
Like, fairly impressive, no?
Yeah, no, definitely.
And like that puts it on an even playing field, you know what I mean? So the Manchester United front three are actually outscoring the Liverpool front three in the Premier League this season.
But what's the question for me? Because I know you're comparing them.
I don't think it's like who's better, because like I think everyone sort of knows the Liverpool front three are superior, but I think it's more almost, does the Manchester United front three have potential to outdo the Liverpool front three?
Yeah, also if you bear in mind that Liverpool were being touted as the best team ever earlier on the season on the front of Liverpool. Yeah, we all witnessed it, lads, and at certain stages we were all shaking in our boots, being like, "Oh shit, this could really happen," because the football they were playing is unbelievable. But for all the hype about Liverpool, then you go and see that United, on the other hand, who have supposedly, who've had one of the worst seasons. Like, if we could finish with the least amount of points total than David Moyes. Solskjaer has been constantly wanting to get kicked out of the club. Like Martial and Rashford both have only played not half a season, but they haven't been in the team as much as the Liverpool front three, which is unquestionable. And then Mason Greenwood, suppose he's only after coming out of the woodworks.
Yeah.
So like it's when you look at the stat, you're like, Jesus, that's they're not lying.
Also, you have to take into account, like, Mason Greenwood is like a sub 90% of the time. He's made 26 appearances in the Premier League this season, and only 7 have been starts.
Well, what's your thoughts?
He scored against Everton earlier on the season. It broke my heart. But no, it's like what you said there about Liverpool, and people coming out saying that they're the best team ever. They're the most deluded fan base you'll ever come across. I'm sorry, but they are, and not all of them, because I know a few of them that are really good really good supporters of the club, and they go to games, and you sit down and you can have a proper civilized conversation without getting ratty with each other. Like, if you say
it's very hard to do. It's very hard to do, and United do have a lot of deluded fan base as well. Let's just call it spade.
Yeah, but the ones that I know aren't as much, and I kind of, as I said, I spoke earlier. Like some of my good friends, we could sit there, we talk about Everton and United, Liverpool. We could talk about Premier League without putting bias aside as well. And you could say, like, Liverpool front three are absolutely brilliant together. I think if you take one of them out of the three, they drop off, as seen against Everton first game back from the lockdown. The intensity goes out of their game. I think the three of them together are brilliant. They've worked up a brilliant kind of. They all know each other's game inside out. Whereas I think yours are talking about Manchester United there and the players. How often have the three of them played together? And you look at the stats are very good. So if they were to play together more often, it's only going to get better. But you would hope anyway. Martial seems a lot happier through the middle. I see someone saying, like, he's always playing with a smile on his face, whereas you often remember him with just a still face, never smiles, just always looking angry. Anthony Martial, but he's a lovely footballer, and he does score lovely goals. He always scores crackers. He reminds me of kind of Henry a little bit, kind of the way he strikes the ball. And then Rashford, I think Rashford's class, and I think a lot of people were saying. I remember a lot of people last year saying, Rashford should leave Manchester United. Man United fans saying, I was like, I would take him at Everton in a heartbeat. I think he's brilliant. But Rashford's kind of like Greenwood should be looking at Rashford, and saying, I want to try and emulate to get to where he is right now. That's what he should be doing. I think Rashford would be a good role model and kind of take him under his wing a little bit. He spoke very well about him in the interview the other day. But I think Rashford, even from the early days, when he was playing with England and all, he played the Euros in 2016, came off the bench and he was running at people and scaring the shit out of them. I think people need to utilise Rashford more. England should have done it more, I thought, in the past. Manchester United, I felt like he wasn't embraced enough, and I think now he's getting that recognition. I think he's getting a bit more embraced now.
Well, I was only thinking about this last night, right? When you look at footballers, you're like, right, who is natural born talent, and then who puts the hard work into the talent. So, like, when you look at someone like Ravel Morrison, who was like such a world talent. I don't know if he was world class talent, but like a up there, like an AO10 for talent. But then
if you're going off what other people say, he would be, yeah.
Yeah. So, like, we say, like, talent, you're on a scale of 1 to 10. Like, realistically, like, Messi was
I think potential is probably the best word to use. Like, world class potential.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like,
yeah.
Well, like you have to put the hard work in, and then you see the outcome. Like Messi was born with what he has, like, and then put in the effort as well. So that's 10 out of 10 in both scales, right? If you say Morrison, maybe he was a 10 out of 10 potential talent, whatever exactly you want to call it, but the effort wasn't put in, so he's like down at like a 6, right? But then when you look at Martial, Rashford, and Greenwood, I actually think Greenwood is the most naturally talented out of the lot of them, and I think he has a higher ceiling than both. I was thinking about it last night. I think Martial can go further than Rashford. I think Rashford's going to end up being the worst out of the three. Ross, I'd like to hear your opinion first.
Jeez, like the worst out of the three could still be potentially very, very good.
Oh no, that's what I mean. I mean, I think this
like,
three is serious.
I must say, I think Mason Greenwood has the highest potential to be the best out of all three of them. I feel like he can do set pieces as well. Obviously, both footed, like, is such a danger to any defender because you can put him on either feet and he can still do you in. Will he move into a striker role? Very much potentially so. Martial looks like the most natural finisher out of the three of them at the moment. As Paul said, there is that touch of Thierry Henry, sort of ice cold in his veins when he gets through on goal. Yeah, I'd almost say Mark Rashford, I probably would agree that he is probably, he almost has the least highest ceiling of the three of them at the moment. But, like, that's still a very, very high ceiling.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, it seems like I'm writing off Rashford, but, like, if you look at what Greenwood could do, the way he can score off both feet, he can, like, when he does a step over, he actually goes by a player as well, whereas Rashford sort of uses pace to go straight by. They're two different games.
But in terms of maybe a minute less footballing ability, he's the one out of the three who's actually a leader on the pitch, and he could be a future captain, which is something that you can't. Rashford, that's something that you can't.
And in the world,
yeah.
If you look at what he did with the Twitter,
and that's something that you can't really teach.
I know.
You know what I mean?
I wouldn't agree on that. I wouldn't agree on that.
What, you don't think he could be a future Man United captain?
No.
Well, who do you think?
I think Greenwood. I think Greenwood has the potential to be the new face of Man United. Like what he can do. Rashford can't do that. Rashford, since he's come back, hasn't been that impressive. Like, he scored a penalty, but what else has he done?
Yeah, but he does it all on and off the pitch. Like,
yeah, but
that's and stuff he does off the pitch. Yeah, but that's part and parcel of being a captain. You know what I mean? Like, no one's there saying, like, Jordan Henderson, the greatest footballer of all time, but, like, what he brings off the pitch and the communication level he brings in is very, very high at Liverpool. They're not like his first name on the team sheet for his football ability.
Yeah, no, I think what Ross means. I think what Ross means is that, like, maybe if he doesn't make up for it with goal scoring, he'll still do something on the pitch that would be like what a leader should do on a pitch. Whereas Greenwood could still score the goals or whatever, but Rashford will be the leader on the pitch, like Henderson has been for Liverpool. He hasn't necessarily put in world-class performances, but he's galvanised the team and got at them when they needed to be shouted at and stuff like that. I think that's more what Ross means.
No, I get that. But I think if or when, I think it is when Sancho comes, I think Rashford doesn't get in ahead of him, so he'd be on the bench.
I don't know. I think might push him on a bit. You know what?
Yeah, what was that?
There's that old saying that hard work beats talent if talent doesn't work hard enough, and I think that's never been truer. As you mentioned, Ravel Morrison had all the talent, never fulfilled it, and there's other players that probably came through, like McTominay, who probably was never meant to go on to do, but he's worked really, really, really hard.
Go ahead, Ross.
I do think with Man United's midfield as well, it's quite interesting that you have your sort of McTominays and Freds who sort of held the team together in the down period, but now, like, those guys are going to seriously lack minutes going forward. And those sort of players, maybe not McTominay, because I feel like he actually loves the club, might be looking for a move elsewhere. Now, obviously there'd be loads of games to play, but they were great when we needed them, but now we need them a lot less.
I still think McTominay's a very good player. He's gone on now. He's a Scotland international and stuff like that. So I think he's really benefited from getting a chance to actually play. I
think there's more chance of McTominay being in future United captain than Rashford. I know you're saying the stuff he's doing off the pitch, but, like, you have to. Sometimes I don't know. Just looking at it, it's different. It is different.
Yeah, but do you think McTominay will ever be a guaranteed starter.
Yeah, because Pogba's eventually going to leave, but I don't know when that's going to be, just because of all the situation that's going on. And also, I think Pogba's like, oh shit, Bruno's actually better than me. I think the thing is now, Pogba wants to play where Bruno's playing, but he can see that Bruno's way more effective than him in that position. So therefore, he's happy to take the secondary role. The way Bruno Fernandes is coming into his team, he's changed it the way Van Dijk and Alisson have with Liverpool, and you can't deny it. Like in all the games, it's unbelievable for us as United fans to be like, why did we sign him 5 years ago? You know.
But I think they can coexist now and just like be the mainstay of Manchester United midfield for the next 5 years.
Yeah, I didn't say that at all. I think they definitely can. Well, I think when
but you said you think he's going to leave.
Yeah, I do think. Well, he's going to leave eventually at some point, and not like necessarily this summer. I said this.
Yeah, but could be in 5 years' time.
Who, Pogba?
Yeah.
Yeah, but as I said, things have changed over the last while because of the COVID situation, and now Pogba can notice how good United can be now. But
yeah, but what I'm saying is that if McTominay,
yeah,
just in terms of future captaincy, you know what I mean? Like if Pogba does stay for the next 5 years and Bruno's still there, there's no guarantee that McTominay would actually get enough game time to, make himself a viable option for captaincy. Because I always think with captaincy, you should be a starting 11 player first, and then you should be opted for captain. I think almost that's why Harry Maguire is captain, because it's like, right, well, he'll definitely start every game.
Yeah, but when you're looking at a captain, I think McTominay has that sort of captain
material.
Yeah, material that it's in him. The way you can see the same way Harry Maguire has it, like the way you can see Bailey doesn't have it. And then
he's been shocking after that first season. He was very good, and then after that, just
nice.
Matic, I suppose, in a way, has really upped his game, and having the two lads in front of him has helped. So, look, they do have a good dynamic going forward. There's no point in just falling out over if Pogba's going to stay or not. Time will tell what that happens. I think you should just really embrace the fact that you do have three really good central defensive midfielders that other teams will be looking for in their team. Like you've got Fred, McTominay, and Matic that can play there, and that allows Bruno and Pogba to play. Not many other teams have that luxury of being able to have three of those players to come in there and do that job.
Yeah, it's definitely a good problem to have. I suppose, it's almost we've been treated so much with Bruno and Pogba back in Man United's starting lineup that you almost like are unwilling to revert back to the team that played the first half of the season altogether.
Yeah, there is also the worry if you get an injury, especially in midfield. Like if Bruno was to come out of that team, what would happen? Like it is like a scary thing. I don't know if someone would definitely just fit in. Like you'd almost rather Pogba got out injured than Bruno, because there's some flavour Bruno's after adding to that team that is.
Well, I think it also depends the opposition as well, though. You know what I mean? Like if they're playing Bournemouth, you know what I mean, you'd have to expect them to be able to win without Bruno. I
know, but what happens? What happens if they come up against the bigger teams then, and then you're not going to play a front five like that? Is like Pogba going to drop back and be a defensive midfielder then?
But Barry, you don't play any of the top teams for the end of the season now, do you? You have a pretty easy running, I believe.
Well, I think we play Leicester. Well, the FA game.
Well, are they like? Come on.
Well, the FA Cup semi-final.
We bet them.
Well, the FA Cup semi-final, and then the last day of the season, which could potentially be for a top four spot.
All right, so you have 2 games. So what are the chances that?
Well, but then if they win the FA Cup semi-final, then there's the final, and then there's the Europa League to come as well. So I'm just wondering, are United going to do such a high pressing front five from here on out?
I forgot about the Europa League. Sorry.
Yeah.
In fairness, I think they have enough quality to semi get away with it. You know what I mean? It's not like Pogba won't put in a defensive shift at all.
I know, yeah, but is that what you expect? Because remember when Solskjaer came in, they were all high press, and then he reverted to a 2-man defense midfield, and now he's like, we'll go the other way again, lads. Like what?
Well, in fairness, I think it depends on who you're setting up against, and like that's almost the Man United way, which Solskjaer has brought back. That like, look, when we're playing Bournemouth at home, we're attacking them for the whole game because we're Man United. Yeah. We're not sitting there playing 4 holding midfielders against them. We're not playing as if they've reincarnated Kaká and Ronaldinho midfield against us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I'm just way more interested to see United take on an actual bigger team and seeing what way they actually put the formation out now, because they've done everything now against the worst teams. They've even gotten a goal behind and come back and prove they can do that. It's just you really want to see against the bigger teams now.
Yeah.
I still think United are away from having that fear factor that they had. I'm going back before 2012 here, where if you played Man United, you had the fear of God that even if you went a goal up against them, the game was never really won. And even if you were 2 goals up, the game was never really won. They were just so good at getting results that they could come back from 2-0 down or 3-0 down and win 4-3. They were just so good. I think Solskjaer is about 2 years away from. He has to assemble a squad and be given the time to do that. And if he can do that, he may get that kind of attitude back. But I think that as United fans, that's what you obviously want to see. But United was just so good, but they don't seem to have that fear factor. I know when when Everton play United, for example, I don't have that fear factor as much. I still think United is a very tricky game for everyone, but I'm more confident than I would have been previously, and there's that fear factor. Whereas I'll always have that fear factor when we play Liverpool, even when they've been shit, because we just are cursed against them. But I think
although it is a derby.
but I think United do need a couple more players maybe to add into there. You obviously have the front three that you've mentioned, but maybe it might be no harm just to have another player just to come off the bench who may not be as good but can still score goals. Like Solskjaer wasn't amazing footballer, was he? He just scored goals off the bench and he was good when called upon. You need someone who can be ready and come on like that, I think.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think the squad that United and Solskjaer have amassed now is probably the best squad they've had since sort of, the Ronaldo, Tevez, Rooney. To be honest, that last Ferguson won the league, it wasn't actually that great of a squad.
No.
Like people weren't clamoring for the Man United
players. They were all aging
squad.
like Barca, like you said there.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
we have a look around the rest of the top four, Basmo?
Yeah.
Or do you want to finish off on that?
No, I was just saying that I think Liverpool are obviously in the best position for next season as well. I just think the year after that it's going to be extremely interesting.
Just trying to keep up with what.
No, that's fine. So so that obviously covers Man United, who are currently in 5th. Wolves are still hot in the heels in 6th, lads.
What about Leicester dropping off?
Well, like that seems to be they seem to be back on track. Vardy scoring like that. Leicester. If Vardy can score, Leicester will do well. If Vardy can't score, Leicester are going to struggle for goals. Hence why he's the top goal scorer in the Premier League. 21 goals now, I think he has. Look, I don't know whether they've rebounded or whether, they had a few blips, but I think we'll have to see Leicester play another game of football before we can actually realise whether they're, going to compete for that top 4. Because when they came back, they looked like they forgot to still get, guaranteed themselves top 4.
Are the cobwebs off now, lads?
Well, I think they have to be for everyone.
I still don't think Leicester are the side they were before Christmas. I think they capitalised on everyone else probably being so bad, other than Liverpool, who were amazing at that time. City were bad, United were bad. Go down the league, everybody was really pretty much bad. And they capitalised and fair play to them. But since they've come back since the restart, they haven't been great. They've got a couple of bad results. Burnley drew with them. Who else?
Everton beat them.
Yeah, but they played someone before that as well, and I think they either got beaten or
Brighton, wasn't it? Brighton, they drew.
Yeah. So their games, because Aaron Connolly won the pen. But yeah, so their games that they probably before Christmas would have won, and now they just couldn't really buy a win. And Everton play. I thought until the own goal. It wasn't an own goal. He kicked it off his face. But until the Leicester goal went in, they didn't really hear Everton that much. I thought Everton handled the pressure quite well. And even though Leicester, on paper, have a better team than Everton, I thought Everton handled the situation quite out the result, which in other years they probably wouldn't have done. But then Chelsea as well, like losing to West Ham, that was a crazy result. But I thought results this week were quite favourable to Manchester United in many ways.
Absolutely. United still have to gain 4 points on Leicester though, because Leicester's goal difference is far superior, at the moment. Look, Chelsea slipped up against West Ham. It was a strange game. I was watching it. Willian actually set a record there, which might never, ever, ever be broken. He scored a goal in every calendar or every month of the year, because obviously the Premier League doesn't run for 12 months. So shout out to Willian. I think he's extended there at Chelsea as well. But like, they bounced back and then won 3-0 against Watford. Ross Barkley actually looked very good in that game.
First goal in the Premier League for 20 months.
Yeah, and he got an assist as well. So I think he scored in the FA Cup as well, didn't he? No?
I think he did, yeah. It's from in the box, inside the box.
Yeah.
Lads, is it true at the end of the season it's going head to head? It's not actually going goal difference as well? Because that's what I heard.
I'm not sure.
Okay, what was the first result between United and Leicester?
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, because I actually can't remember. And then obviously,
United won, didn't
Chelsea.
They? Didn't United win? I think Rashford scored a penalty. I think they won 1-0. And we were like, how did we win
that's
that?
Good. Well, in fairness, United always beat all the good teams. So, like, our head-to-head should always be quite good against the other teams. Like, if we went head-to-head against, not Brighton, but like last year's Brighton, we wouldn't have done so great.
Yeah, because my dad was on to me. He was like, I think we're going to have to get the goal difference. I was like, all right, grand. And then I was watching the United stand, and they said that Mark Albridge mentioned that it's going to come down to head-to-heads, which is interesting.
And like, look, there's a big game next for Leicester. They have to play against Arsenal. So that's going to be very, very interesting. Arsenal are back hot. I suppose we could almost talk about Arsenal versus Wolves. Arsenal seems to got their shit together. Like, there's no other way of really speaking about it. Like, I think we all were sort of looking at Arsenal and going, geez, they could drop into the bottom half of the table. Yeah. And now they look like they're the 7th best team in the league again.
What do you think? I wouldn't be getting carried away by Arsenal just for one win. You know, they've been poor other than that.
They're 7th, they're 7th now and 3 points behind Wolves. It's the league is actually so tight. It's ridiculous, lads. It's a joke.
Yeah, well, anyone can beat anyone. I just don't think Arsenal are the 7th best side. I mean, I think if Arsenal played Spurs next week, Spurs could end up winning. It's just been that type of league, you know.
Yeah, but they've won 3 on the trot now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
look, call it a spade here. Like, I think if Arsenal came up against any of the bigger teams, obviously not including Wolves in this, that like I wouldn't fancy Arsenal whatsoever. I'd put it this way, nil again. But Arteta seems to have somehow managed to grab that bunch of players and, you know, put a bit of cop onto them.
Get a beat out of them.
Yeah, exactly. Aubameyang seems to be scoring again. That young fella Saka seems to be, his confidence through the roof at the moment. So, look, we all know what Arsenal like. They might show up to their next game against Leicester and lose 3-0, and we all just say typical Arsenal. So
the problem is consistency, Ross. Isn't it?
It really, really is, definitely. But look, they're put themselves in with a fighting chance for Europe again, which I think the Arsenal fan base badly needs. Because me and Barry were on the the other day, like, if Arsenal drop into 10th, no one will give a shit about them ever again. You know what I mean? Like, Arsenal are only sort of that banter club when they look like they might do something and then they fail, if that makes sense. No one has any interest in if they actually become a middle tier club.
I'm just looking here. If Everton beat Spurs tonight, Spurs are on 45 points. They're on played the same. But Everton could then
jump up 2 spots, isn't it?
Go up to 9th.
Yeah.
And then they're a point. Hang on, they're then 2 points. They're 1 point behind Sheffield United then, and 2 points behind Arsenal. So it's gonna be a mad end to the season if teams kind of keep beating each other.
But Everton don't have the easiest running left. Bar their next game is almost against Southampton, and Southampton are playing for nothing. But I think every game after that, they're either playing a relegation side or a team going for Europe. So they don't have the easiest running. But
Everton actually have 3 games this week.
I don't think that Everton will get into Europe. I'm just saying that if we're kind of talking about Arsenal and kind of the way they've tried to jump back. If certain results go Everton's way, they could be in contention. I still don't think they have the squad depth to do it, though.
Yeah, but sometimes if you can keep that starting 11 fit, you know what I mean? That can be enough to get it done. You know what I mean? That's what Leicester did when they won the league that year. You know what I mean? I think 8 of their starting 11 played 32 games plus. So
yeah, I just don't think the midfield is good enough or quick enough. They're very slow.
Yeah, but I know Richarlison and Calvert-Lewin will always give you a chance when they have them up front.
Yeah. I think Richarlison was injured, but I think he's back tonight.
Yeah, like that a secondary race now. It's almost like you have the race for Champions League football, which is almost the fifth, and then you have the race for Europa League as well. Do you have any like sort of thoughts on who do you think is going to finish in that sort of spot? Just say we say 6th, 7th, 8th.
Wolves.
Yeah, I think that's fairly certain. I think Arsenal finished there.
I think definitive answer right now, and then Sheffield United.
What do you think, Basmo?
From what for 5th, 6th, and 7th?
No, 6th, 7th. That will be the Europa League finishing spot
For the Europa League.
Yeah.
Wolves, definitely. Oh, Jesus Christ, it's actually so close. Wolves, I think Wolves,
Oh, yeah.
Arsenal, and then hopefully Sheffield United getting there, just for the Irish contingent, you know, the Irish lads on tour.
I actually think it's going to be Wolves, Arsenal, and then if someone wins out of Everton and Spurs tonight, I think it'll be one of those two.
Yeah, I totally think Everton can do that as well. It's so close. But like by this time next week, we'll know a lot more because it'll be like 3 games for Everton between that. Well, that's
exactly.
Go on.
I was just going to say, if Everton do get European football, I think that is some job that obviously it's such a master stroke because when he took over, they were fighting for relegation.
Yeah, in fairness, fair play to Ancelotti. In fairness, he knows he's doing it anyway, if anything. And also, European football for Everton means more cash, and that means they can invest back into that side. And I'd be very interested to see if Ancelotti could buy like 3 or 4 players, who he'd actually get in, like who would Ancelotti's signings be.
Yeah, that's what I'm excited for too.
And I do think he won't be like sort of almost buying Everton caliber players. Like that's not really a knock on the club, but like he'll be buying players who he believes are world class. You know what I mean? Like Ancelotti's not going to be buying your Charlie Adam. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, exactly. I think I could see him buying someone like Lozano off Napoli because he brought him in from Mexico or wherever it was.
Well, I think he was at PSV.
Sorry,
like,
he is Mexican.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think he'd sign Luke Garbett?
Who?
Okay, right, lads. What do you think right now for the top 4? Who's joining Man City and Liverpool just right now? Just what do you think? I know there's things can change again next week.
I think it's just going to be Chelsea and United. Leicester, I think, have quite a hard run in. They have to play United as well. They have to play Arsenal. I'm sure they have a few other tricky games in there. I think they just get the job done. Chelsea were like so dominant against Watford that I'd fancy them to get the job done there as well. That's just my personal thought on it. Paul?
Did I think I called Wolves to finish in the top 4 ahead of United, didn't I? I think the other week.
I think you did, yeah, before they lost to Arsenal.
Yeah, but they were still going strong. I still wouldn't rule them out just kind of one defeat. They've been going strong and playing a lot of games with the same kind of team and same kind of 14 players. So it's that I did say that Leicester would fall away, and they seem to be doing that. I can see that kind of continuing with the running they have. Chelsea, I still think was just a minor blip last week. They still look the best of I think all the other teams that have been back. I think they'll be okay. But I think it's between United and Wolves. Definitely think Leicester are out of the equation or will be in the next couple of weeks. So it's tough to choose between United and Wolves. But I'll probably go with Man United right now.
Yeah, I actually just looked up there. Leicester still have to play Spurs, Arsenal, and Man United out of their 5 games left. That's rough.
Leicester do.
Yeah.
So that's why I think they'll drop points if they don't lose games. I think they'll drop points, draw.
Yeah, exactly. I think they have to play Sheffield United as well,
and that'll be tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, because some of the teams are getting back into form as well. It's crazy. It is actually crazy.
It's just great to have football back, though, isn't it?
Oh, isn't it? Like, it wasn't on Friday, and I was so disappointed. I was like, for fuck's sake, lads.
Are we looking at the... Baz, did you pick yours?
I think United. If everyone keeps playing the same way they're doing, I think United will get it, and I think also Chelsea.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that's a fair
it's
shout.
dead cert, isn't it? Really?
But like every
Yeah.
teams are now back in form. Like as we said, like the Arsenals are back, Sheffield United's, Leicester's. I know Chelsea had the blip, but like then again they look good. You know what I mean? I feel like United have a banana skin waiting to happen to like toss in the air. But lads, is there anything else to say about this week? Because obviously for the relegation ones that we guessed a few weeks ago. Hold on for a sec. Paul seems to be the person who's right because it's looking like Villa, Bournemouth, and Norwich are going to be the three that are going down.
Yeah, in fairness, I think Norwich board needs to seriously look at Farke in charge. They were playing Brighton there the other day, and Cantwell or Pukki didn't feature for Norwich in the starting 11. Like, that was obviously a very winnable game for them at this stage of the season. It ended up being a 1-1 draw, and now they have to get 8 points to get out of relegation now from the remainder of 15. That's if none of the other teams get a result. So, like, I don't think any Norwich could be any more relegated if they tried right now. And then you look at the other teams, Bournemouth against United, you know what I mean? They actually did put up a fair bit of fight to them, in fairness to them. But they don't actually look like a team that's hungry to stay up. And then Villa.
You were talking about Aston Villa here. Sorry, by the way, the internet is fucking wrecking my head. Carry on.
Yeah, so Aston Villa, look, they don't look like they're going to escape this relegation battle either. You know, John McGinn looks like he worked very hard from the midfield, but like that, it's not enough. You know what I mean? They don't have a striker to put the ball in the back of the net. That's the thing that's really going to hurt them most. I don't know what the story is with Callum Wilson at one, but if they could get him back in the team, I think he's injured at the moment, he could do the business for them, and maybe have them escape. Watford as well, 3-0 loss when they're trying to get out of that bottom three, not great. And then I suppose West Ham, they obviously got the great escape against Chelsea, and that might be what saves them this year. A win like that can be massive for them.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Paul?
But just like they played what you just said there about Watford. I think they like a game that they weren't going to win. They just didn't seem like the Watford that were putting up the fight there a few weeks ago. And before that, they looked really good. Don't know what the story is with them. I still think they're strong enough to stay up. I still think West Ham are strong enough. And Brighton, who I did say I think that they would have a good run, and they have. So I think they're all right now. I think they'll be fairly safe, and maybe be certain that they will be safe. Bournemouth and Villa just don't look like they can buy a win right now, unfortunately. And yeah, goals win games, and because they just don't score goals. And I think Baz is just waiting for me to talk about Jack Grealish not turning up once again. But yeah, I like John McGinn. I think John McGinn I would like to see someone like him in an Everton midfield. I'd love it because he's busy and he gets around. He has the legs. Whereas I just think Grealish just strolls around games and just thinks he's the dog bollocks and he doesn't actually affect the game in any way. He might create a couple of chances, but they don't have strikers to score the goals. Bournemouth again. I said it a couple of weeks ago. I think the championship standard. I think they deserve to go down. They just haven't been good enough. It'd be a sad story to see them go down because obviously they're with Eddie Howe and everybody likes him and everything like that. But football's a rootless game. It's a business at the end of the day. And if you're not good enough, you go down, and it's as simple as that.
Do you think another team might take Eddie Howe if you went?
They potentially, but like. I can't really say anything because Everton got Roberto Martinez when they were relegated. Wigan were relegated. So at the end of the day, I don't think any club should really sign a manager who has got a club relegated. I know it's Bournemouth. Okay, maybe if you look around the league, who could he go to? I mean, he's not going to get Brighton's job. He's not going to get Watford's job. He's not going to get.
Yeah, but I think that's to next season. He might get that job. That makes sense.
Well, maybe, but if you look at any of his big signings that he's brought in, they haven't really done well. Like Jordan Ibe and Solanke, they haven't done well.
He's signed so many Liverpool rejects. It's ridiculous. Solanke has had over 40 games for Liverpool. Hasn't even scored 40 games. I think either in the Premier League or for Brighton hasn't scored.
In fairness, Solanke's absolutely dirty. Is
20 million. 20 million.
One thing that is like very prevalent left for the relegation battle, that is massive games that is left to go, right? And no team more than West Ham have this in their own hands, because they actually play both Watford and Aston Villa, and they play Aston Villa in the last game of the season. Surely if they win those two games, like, that's West Ham absolutely safe. You know what I mean?
I think West Ham been showing fight the last couple of games. Like they played Newcastle yesterday. They just kind of showed that they had that fight back in them. But Moyes has that in abundance, and he will get teams fighting for stuff. He didn't have a good squad at Sunderland when he actually brought them down. But I thought the last managed West Ham, they looked like they were dead and buried, and he kept them up. And then for some reason never got a contract. Left, and then Pellegrini came in. Now he's back there, and he's still like a lot of the players that he brought in are still. I still think he can get a tune out of them. I think they'll stay up. I actually don't think they'll go down. He seems to be getting a tune out of Yarmolenko and these types of players as well, who are the type of players who will keep you up because they have that quality. And then, just. As I said with Bournemouth, I just don't think they're good enough. I think Brooks will leave them next season, or else he'll stay in the Championship and help them get back up. But other than him, I don't look around their team, and nobody there kind of makes me go, oh wow. Josh King's all right, but again, he'd be getting into a Watford type of side. He wouldn't be getting into a Wolves side. Put it that way, you know.
Yeah, well, Bournemouth has to still play City. They still have to play, I think, Arsenal, Leicester, and Everton. You know what I mean? Like, could look at them getting results there. You know what I mean?
They will need like a Wigan type of resurgence.
Yeah. Ring Paul Jewell there and ask him for a bit of advice, will you?
Sign Heskey.
Roberto was the one who mastered.
Oh, was it? I apologise to Roberto. What is he managing? He's managing Belgium at the moment still, is he?
Somehow, yeah.
Yeah, he's done a good job, isn't he?
Yeah, I don't think so. He should have won some.
No, definitely. But I know he's done a good job of navigating his career.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, definitely. Spoofer, yeah. 101.
I think his name is actually Roberto. In fairness, because his name is Roberto Martinez, that sounds a bit sexier as opposed to his name is like Robert Martin. They'd be like, no, not him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That actually is true. Yeah. So here, I know this is changing it. Well, it might be changing every week, but what three are you going for?
I think Paul has the nail on the head from day one. Bournemouth, Villa, and Norwich.
I like Villa though, and I would like to see them stay up, but they won't.
No.
Those two teams, Bournemouth and Villa, have shown the least amount of fight, and like if Norwich, stay up, like, I mean, I'll eat my headphones live on the next Energized podcast.
Bournemouth, so it's looking like Bournemouth, Villa, and Norwich, but like, I mean, everything's so tight. But let's see what happens. But,
is there one more defeat for Norwich and they're gone? Is that it mathematically?
Yeah.
Well, they have 15 points left to get, potentially. Now they've only got 21 all season, so it's doubtful. But that will get them up to 36 points. So I think if they got 12 more points, that will get them up to 33 points. That will still keep them safe. So no, they have a few games. I think they have to lose 3 more games to be like rock bottom. But that also depends on the other results around them.
Yeah, they're actually playing Watford away next, and then they're playing West Ham at home the game after that. Like, I mean,
I would love to see now Adam Mead getting a little bit of a run in the team. Just let him get a Premier League goal or something.
He nearly scored there the other day as well.
Yeah, he's looked good. But he's only getting short little appearances here and there, and it's hard to come on when you're playing with that, like, a struggling team at the bottom of the league, and you're trying to make a difference as a 19-year-old kid coming through Premier League football. He's done well. Obviously, hit the post against Brighton, but I'd love to see him get a run of games. Maybe finish the last couple of games and just actually be playing. I mean, he's young, fit, hungry, and can score goals if given the run. Why not just give him the chance now? You're not really playing for anything else.
Yeah, fair point. Are we doing predictions for this week now, Basmo?
Yeah. Okay. What happened was last week, Ross and Paul drew again.
We're sharing that crown still.
Yeah, you both got.
Go on.
Yeah, so rather than guessing the scores, we're going to guess the winners or a draw. So
Or lose.
Because Baz keeps on getting it wrong. So
yeah, I keep getting it wrong. Yeah, like ever since I won, the two of you just keep drawing. Like the two of you texting each other. Right.
We got one result right.
You.
But okay, because like we have like over a week ago's results predicted for that Spurs versus Everton, and we're changing. We're going to start off fresh, and then Paul, since it's going to be Spurs. Okay, so today is Monday. Spurs are taking on Everton. Paul, you kick it off. Who do you think is going to win or draw, and then Ross, and then we keep it going.
I go for an Everton win, 2-1 again. I know I'm taking scores, but I'm just going to give you the score.
Okay, Ross.
I think it's going to be a draw.
Okay, I'm going to go draw as well. Then Crystal Palace are taking on Chelsea on Tuesday. I'm going to go Chelsea.
Chelsea.
Yeah, Chelsea.
Okay, all three Chelsea. Okay, then also Watford are taking on Norwich. Ross?
Watford win.
6-pointer for Watford, yeah.
I'll go Watford as well. Arsenal taking on Leicester. Paul?
I'm going to go for Arsenal win.
I'll do the draw there.
Play it safe.
Yeah, well, starts 0-0, so that's always good, isn't it? You start winning.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna go Leicester. Okay. Then on Wednesday, Manchester City are taking on Newcastle. I'll kick it off with a Man City win. Ross?
Man City.
Paul?
I'll go City as well. They need to bounce back from last night.
Yeah, definitely. Then also Sheffield United are taking on Wolves. Ross?
Oh.
I like the there.
Sorry?
I like the draw.
Draw.
I'm going to go Sheffield win. I'm going to make it bold.
Yeah, Goldrick putting a dunk on it.
I'd love that, yeah.
I'll go for a draw as well. Then West Ham are taking on Burnley as well on Wednesday. Paul?
Say that again, sorry.
West Ham versus Burnley.
That's a very winnable game.
Oh, well, Burnley have like the most clean sheets of anyone this season, so I'm gonna go for West Ham because they need it more. Yeah,
Paul, West Ham. Ross?
Yeah, I think West Ham as well. I think Antonio's found shooting boots these days.
I'm gonna go draw. Brighton versus Liverpool. Okay,
draw.
I'm just gonna
draw.
Paul, draw. Ross?
I think Liverpool win, but I think they're gonna feel a weak inside.
That's actually not a bad show. I'm going to go for Liverpool as well anyway. But then Thursday, Bournemouth taking on Spurs. I'm going to go draw. Yeah, Paul, you're going for Spurs?
Yeah.
Against everything I ever believe in at the moment, I'm going to go Bournemouth win just to be different.
Okay, yeah. Then Everton taking on Southampton. Paul?
Everton win. Southampton have been good, by the way.
Danny Ings.
I'm just going to have to keep backing Everton to win.
In fairness, Paul, do you reckon if you predicted the games and they all came true for Everton, Everton would finish second or third in the league?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to say Everton as well. I just want to see them get into Europe. You know what I mean? My dad supports Everton as well, Paul, by the way. So I'd like to see them do well.
I think you told me that.
Yeah.
I'm going to go for
top
a draw.
man.
I'm going to go for a draw there, lads. Then on Thursday, also Aston Villa taking on United. I don't know. Danny Ings.
United are going to get the job done.
Ross gone Man U. Paul?
I got United. Who are they playing?
Villa.
Yeah, United. Yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully they make a fucking show of Jack Grealish and what's called that Man United midfield, and then we don't
go on.
Who knows? He scored against them last time. Then Saturday, Norwich versus West Ham. I'm going to go West Ham.
West Ham.
Yeah, West Ham. West Ham. That I think that win they'll be safe after Burnley, Norwich. Like Moyes will be a hero. We'll get a statue built outside Upton Park.
That'd be such a funny statue.
Yeah, no, because Upton Park doesn't exist anymore.
The Olympic Stadium, isn't
it? Okay, then also Watford are taking on Newcastle. Ross?
I actually like Newcastle. Your man Maximilian is actually brilliant. I don't know if I'm saying his name right, but like y'all know who I'm talking about.
Saint Maxime, I think it is.
Yeah. Max.
I think I call him Maximilian forever. Like he's actually
some Barnett on him.
Yeah.
You want my predictions, Barry? Is it? Sorry.
Yeah, hold on. Sorry, it skipped there. Watford versus Newcastle. Ross has gone for Newcastle. Paul?
Yeah, I'll go for that to stay up. So I'll go Watford.
The Watford West Ham's games look a lot more winnable, don't they? The rest of the teams.
Okay, I'm going Newcastle.
Dylan Palmer are shite though. Let's be honest.
Okay, then Liverpool are playing Burnley.
Wait, who's playing Burnley?
Liverpool are playing Burnley.
Oh yeah, Liverpool will be Burnley. Hopefully Kevin Long isn't playing because I don't want to see him concede loads of goals.
Probably Brady back.
I'll probably go the same as Ross there. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Liverpool seems to be the right show. Sheffield versus Chelsea. Oh shit.
That's a tough one.
Oh, I'm gonna go draw.
Draw.
Ross? Well, Paul's gonna go draw.
No, I think Chelsea will win.
Chelsea. Brighton versus Man City. Paul.
City win.
I'm gonna go City as well. Ross.
Yeah, but no, I think Brighton are all right
What
against
happened there?
Yeah, just go with it. Draw. Wolves versus Everton. Paul.
I could see Wolves winning that one, but I'm gonna go for a draw.
Paul's gonna go draw. Ross.
To take Traore out of the game, and I think Digne or Coleman, whichever side he's playing on, will be able to get the job done.
So, sorry, what was that?
Everton.
Okay, I'm going to go draw. Aston Villa versus Crystal Palace. I'm going to go draw. Ross?
I'm going to say Villa are going to win, just to give them that last moment of hope before they get relegated.
I'll actually do the same. Yeah.
Okay, Villa. Then also on Sunday, this should be a good game. Spurs versus Arsenal. I think I'm going to go for Arsenal for this. Ross?
Drag out the where I feel like Mourinho will be able to tactically win that game.
So you're on Spurs?
Draw.
Yeah. Let's go on Spurs. Paul's going draw. Bournemouth versus Leicester as well.
Leicester win.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll trade. Yeah, then this day next week, Man United are taking on Southampton. But if you want to just give a quick prediction there, just...
Oh, Man United 2-0.
Can we predict it on the day?
Yeah, just in case stuff happens next week, or you know what I mean.
Give us your prediction, then you can give us a new prediction on the day.
Yeah. United win.
Okay. All right, lads, that's wraps up the show here. I'm sorry about that fucking internet because it's actually breaking my heart because I'm sitting here and being ready to pause, ready to not pause, and then it's like, where'd you go? It's like, lads, this shit can be fucking heartbreaking, but we have to go on through. If you haven't checked out any of the shows yet before, make sure to subscribe because I'm actually so fucking pissed off about this internet. Paul, tell us about your socials there, where we can find you.
On most places, if you just type in Irish Football Fan TV or at Irish Football Fan TV, again, on Twitter, it's at Irish Fan TV.
Yeah, Paul, you're doing a great job there. It's really good.
And you can follow me at Roscoe_Cadwell, and you can rate my breakfasts out of 10.
Birthday cakes.
Yeah, birthday cakes.
Okay, lads, thanks a million for doing this. Sorry about that fucking internet. I don't know what the story is there. It's actually recommended. But if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. Make sure to like, leave a comment. And as always,
stay energized.
Stay energized.